I'm Dave Dinkle, and this is the Transactional Funding for Real Estate Investors question and answer series. Our question today is, what do you need to do transactional funding? What you need the most for the transactional funding is a profitable real estate deal. First of all, you need a motivated seller and an equally motivated end buyer who will come together with the real estate investor in the middle to coordinate the two closings. These two closings are usually referred to as double closings, and the parts referred to as the A to B leg and the B to C leg. In these legs, the A individual is the property's original seller, and the investor is designated as the B entity. Finally, the end buyer is referred to as the C buyer. The investor himself only needs to qualify for the transactional funding by having a closing agent who has done the preliminary HUD-1 closing statements and has the end buyer's wired funds in his escrow account. Once these elements are in place, the closing agent can have all the necessary documents signed by the parties to the transaction and proceed to distribute the proceeds to the original seller and to the investor. Transactional funding is simple in its basic concept and functionality. All of the complicated ingredients of the closing are handled by the closing agent, and he gets paid on a HUD-1 closing statement for completing the two legs of the transaction. The beauty of transactional funding is that it allows real estate investors the ability to do any size transaction with no money in the deal. All the funding for the A to B leg is borrowed from the transactional funding lender. There's no down payment required, no document stamps for a mortgage, no inspection of the property or survey required. All these and more requirements may be necessary for the end buyer to close, but they will have been completed long before the transactional lender allows his funds to be used to buy the property. The documents required by the transactional lender are very limited and can be completed in minutes. Likewise, the approval or denial of the transactional funding can be done in minutes once the borrower's documents have been reviewed. If you intend to borrow transactional funding, don't wait until the last minute to apply, as the transactional funding lender may not have the amounts of funds that you need at the time you need them. Thanks for joining us for this Real Estate Investors series on transactional funding.